to go over the Unit 4 practice test. Tuesday might not be the most ideal time to take a test, but at least you can feel good, hopefully, that you prepared for it, you took it, and you don't have anything to worry about for 2 weeks. You won't have to worry about it if you ace it. Okay.
Well, you don't know if you ace it.
All right. So, here we go. When we solve equations, systems of equations by graphing, we need to graph both lines and look for the intersection. In order to graph the first line, we need to get y alone. So you'd have to add 5 to both sides to get y equals x plus 5. And then the other one is y equals negative 5x minus 1. So let's start with the top one. We're going to start at 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to rise 1, run 1, or negative 1, negative 1. And there's our first line. And then our second line, we are going to start at negative 1, and we're going to rise negative 5, run positive 1, or rise positive 5, run negative 1, and looky there, we found our point of intersection. So, there it is. What did it say in the directions to do? It said to draw an arrow indicating the solution on the graph, or label it as an ordered pair. So that ordered pair is negative 1, 4, and that's the solution. Don't forget the arrow. Okay, don't forget the arrow. Number 2, that one sets up nicely for substitution since y is already alone. So I'm going to take what y equals in the second one and put it in for y in the first one. So I have 3x plus 2 times negative 3x plus 11 equals 7. So I have 3x plus negative 6x plus 22 equals 7. So I have negative 3x plus 22 equals 7. And then I subtract 22 from both sides and get negative 3x equals negative 15. Divide both sides by 3, negative 3, and x equals 5. So 5 is my x part of the solution. When I plug in 5 for x, what do I get for y? I get y equals negative 3 times 5, which is negative 15, plus 11, which is negative 4. Now I check it. Plug and chug the check. Is negative 15, or is positive 15 plus a negative 8, 7? Yes. Does negative 4 equal negative 15 plus 11? Yes. Check it. It's silly not to. Okay? All right. The next one, I would say that sets up well for elimination. I multiply the top equation by negative 3. That's just me, but that would work. And so I get negative 3x.
Well, you can multiply by negative 3.
And if you want to get rid of the y's, you can. I'm going to get rid of the x's. Either one's right. Okay? So I get minus 6y equals 18. It doesn't matter. As long as you do the math right, it doesn't matter if you eliminated x or y first. You're right. We could have multiplied by negative 4. But when we did this, we get 2y equals negative 2. Divide by 2, and y equals negative 1. So that's the negative 1 part of the solution. If y is negative 1, what is x? 3x plus 8 times negative 1 equals negative 20. 3x plus negative 8 equals negative 20. Add 8 to both sides. So 3x equals negative 12. X equals negative 4.
Doesn't matter which equation you wrote.
No. Okay, let's check it. Is negative 4 plus negative 2 negative 6? Yes. Is negative 12 plus negative 8 negative 20? Yes. Okay, so there's only going to be 10 problems plus a bonus. So every problem you need to take your time, check it, plug it back in. So some people are like, I want more problems so I have more chances to make a mistake. well, but you have fewer problems to focus on, and you're just going to have to make sure you do well in each one. Okay? So, either way, just treat each problem like it's really important. Okay, this one's already set up for substitution, so that's what I've used. So I'm going to substitute this in for x here. So I have 2 times negative 4y plus 4 plus 8y equals 8. So I have negative 8y plus 8 plus 8y equals 8. A lot of 8s. Crazy 8s. So when I simplify this and get negative 8y plus 8y is 0, I get 8 equals 8. And we know if we ever get down to this point in an equation, and they're equal, and there's no variable left to solve for it, infinite solution. Okay, next. I would say elimination. If I multiply the top by 10 and the bottom by negative 3, or not negative 3, positive 3, since the 3 and the 10 are already opposite signs. So if I do the top by 10, I get 30x plus 90y equals 330. And when I do the bottom one, I get negative 30x minus 18y equals negative 42. And when I combine those, I get 72y equals 288. Divide both sides by 72, and y equals 4. Okay? Hard work is done. Easy stuff to left to do. 3x plus 9 times 4 is 33. So 3x plus 36 is 33. Subtract 36 from both sides. Whoever's clicking over there, if you can stop. And I get x equals negative 1. Negative 3 plus 36, 33. 10 minus 24, negative 14. Pretty straightforward so far, right? Yeah. Pretty straightforward. We either substituted, eliminated, we did one graph. Okay. Number 6. Number 6 is funky because it's not in standard form. So if I subtracted 4y from both sides and got 3x minus 4y equals negative 18, and over here I subtracted 5x from both sides to simplify. Now they're in standard form. So that one just required an extra step to get both equations in standard form. Does everybody understand what I did to get those in standard form? No. On this one, I subtracted 4y from both sides. And on this one, I subtracted 5x from both sides. Okay. The reason I did that is now I can see that this sets up nicely for elimination. Multiply by 4. 12x minus 16y equals negative 72. Negative 7x, or no, positive 7x equals negative 14. Divide both sides by 7, and x equals negative 2. So negative 2 is part of our solution. What's our y? Well, 3 times negative 2 equals negative 18 plus 4y. I'm just plugging back into the original equation. Negative 6 equals negative 18 plus 4y. Add 18. So 12 equals 4y. Y equals 3. Check it. Is negative 6 equal to negative 18 plus 12? Yes. Is 48 equal to 58 plus negative 10? Yes. There you have it. Okay, 6 out of 10 done. Nothing real crazy yet. Okay, number 8. Oh, by the way, we're going to be real straightforward with you. You have a mixture problem, you have a current problem, and you have a break-even problem. That's the only word problems you'll have. The very last one. Okay? All right, number 8. If x equals the length of the rectangle. Whoops, sorry. There we are. What do you guys do here? Elimination or substitution? Elimination. Okay, if you multiply the top by 3, you get 3y negative 3, you get negative 3y plus 15x equals 18. And when you combine these, you get 0 equals 6. Oh, that's weird. My variables have all canceled out, and all I've left with is two non-equivalent quantities, so there's no solution. Okay, now on to number 8. X equals length, y equals width. What do I know about the length and width? Well, I know the perimeter, twice the length plus twice the width is 46. And I know that the length is 3 times the width. 3 more than 3 times the width. There's my two equations. Okay? This is already set for substitution, isn't it? So then I can just plug in right here. 2 times 3y plus 3 plus 2y equals 46. Distribute 6y plus 6 plus 2y equals 46. 8y plus 6 equals 46. Subtract 6. 8y equals 40. Y equals 5. So what's 5? The width. What is the length? It's 3 times 5 plus 3. That's 18. So it's 5 by 18. 5 centimeters by 18 centimeters. Pretty straightforward. Those are good ones to do. I did have that on the original test. I took it off, so taking it easy on you guys. All right, nickels and dimes. Let's nickel and dime this one. If x equals number of nickels, y equals number of dimes. How many coins are there altogether? 46. How much is the nickel worth? Some of you guys were treating it like $5.
I did it 50 cents.
Or 50 cents. Okay? But we need to treat it as 5 cents, 0.05, and 10 cents, 0.10 or 0.1. And when we do that and get the amount, well, then it's not too bad at all. I would use substitution here because I can simply get y by itself or x, it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then I can plug into that next equation. I'm going to do it over here. So I have 0.05x plus 0.10 times 46 minus x equals 375. Do a little simplifying here. 0.05x plus 460 minus 0.10x equals 375. Negative 0.05x plus 460 equals 375. Subtract 460 from both sides. And negative 0.05x equals negative 80.85 cents. Divide by negative 0.05, and we get 17. 17 nickels. Well, if there's 46 coins altogether, that means 29 dimes. Check it. 29 dimes, 290. 17 nickels, 85 cents. 290 plus 85. 375. All right. Number 10. Okay, a percent problem. Pay attention, please. If x equals number of liters of 67% herbicide and y equals liters of 46% herbicide, we know there's 42 liters, and we know that if you take 67% of the one and 46% of the other, you want 42 liters, that's 55%. Pretty straightforward, just like all percent problems we've been doing, the mixture problems. Okay? We need to do a little simplification. So 42 times 0.55 is, what is it? Thank you. Okay? Then I would use substitution. I could just subtract x and get y equals 42 minus x. So now I can substitute this in for y down here. That's a y, by the way. So I'm going to put this in down here. So I have 0.67x plus 0.46 times 42 minus x equals 23.1. When I distribute, I get 0.67x plus 0.46 times 42. 19.32 minus 0.46x equals 23.1. Simplify that minus that, 0.21x plus 19.32 equals 23.1. Subtract 19.32 from both sides. 0.21x equals 23.1 minus 19.32, 3.78. Divide both sides by 0.21. What do we get? Divided by 0.21, 18. 18 what? Okay, it asks us how much is the 67% solution, and x is 18, which is the 67. So 18 liters of 67% solution. Okay?
What about?
I wouldn't mark it wrong if you included the other. Usually I want both anyways, but that one just asks for the one. Okay, the plane. The plane. This one, what did you have to find out first on this problem? How fast the plane was going, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one, if it goes 1176 in 3.5 hours, if you go 1176 divided by 3.5, you get 336 miles per hour. And if you did 1176 divided by 3, you get 392 miles per hour. So if the airspeed is that, and the wind speed is that, we know that when you get the wind with you, you're going 392. When you're fighting the wind, you're going 336. That sets up beautifully for elimination. 2a equals 728 divided by 2. A equals 374. No, 364. 364. Okay, so it says find the speed of the wind. Well, the airspeed is 364, and the wind speed is 364 plus what is 392? 28. 28 miles per hour. So when it's going with the wind, it goes 392. When it's going against it, it goes 336.
Why is it 28? Because
Oh, so when I plug back into this side, I have 364 plus W. Whoops. 364 plus W equals 392. So I subtract 364 and get 28. Okay? Good question? All right, the bonus, I had to put this here because it wouldn't, the test wouldn't fit otherwise. So the bonus came before your last problem. Solve for x, y, and z. Well, could you use this and substitute it in here? Sure. 5y equals 4 times y minus 5 minus 6. So when I do that, I get 5y equals 4y minus 20 minus 6. So then I get 5y equals 4y minus 26. Subtract 4y from both sides. So y equals negative 26. Okay? Well, if y is negative 26, what's x? Negative 26 minus 5, negative 31. Well, then what is z? Well, z is negative 10 times negative 31 minus 5 times negative 26. So it'd be 310 plus 130, 440. So that one wasn't crazy hard. It was just, don't assume that it says bonus is going to be extremely difficult. Just had to think a little bit. You can look forward to those in Algebra 2 trig. Okay. Break-even points. I gave you the coordinates for this, or the intervals, and I'll do the same for you tomorrow. Okay, so X was number of discs. And Y was the amount of money. And we needed to go up to 4,200, so how did I know we needed to go up to 4,200? Well, if X equals number of discs and Y equals your profit or income, remember, if it's a break-even problem, it's always going to be profit or income. Or profit or cost, sorry, profit or cost. Profit and income is the same thing, profit or cost. So how much is it costing you to run this business and how much are you making? Okay? So, well, let's first off talk about profit. How much are you making on this business? $13.75 per disc, right? Okay, how much is this business costing you to run? $3,255 a month plus $290 per disc, per packages of disc. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so there you have it. And again, that's how a lot of companies do business, and that might be an accurate markup for technology because, they can really make that stuff cheap and charge you a lot more. Okay, how can you find out what the break-even point is before you even graph it?
It's all in here.
What do you mean?
System of equations.
You could do substitute, right? Couldn't I just set these equal to each other, substitute this in for y here? 1375 x equals 3255 plus 290x. Okay? And then if you subtract 290x from both sides, you get 1085x equals 3255, and what do you get for x? 300. Oh, that's nice and neat and even. X equals 300. So what do I know 300 is going to be? A break-even point, right? At 300 discs, I will have paid off my rent and I'll have made as much as I've spent. So which is how much money? Well, then I have to plug 300 times 1375, right? You can plug it into either one. $4,125. So my break-even point is 300, 4,125. Okay? So that means that's going to be where my break-even point is. 300, 4,125. This is 3,900, so it's somewhere about there. Okay? How much did if I'm going to graph my profit, what did I start out as my profit? What's my starting point? 0. Very good. 0. Okay, so that one's going to go through this point. Whoops, I don't want that. I want red. So my profit is going to look like that. And then how much did my cost start out at? $32.55. Good. And that's 33, so somewhere around there. So that's all you needed to do. And then you needed to show the break-even point was 300 discs, 4,125. There you go. You guys can do that, right? Okay, because I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to come back from break and have to worry about a retake, right? Right. So let's just get it done tonight. Today, tonight. Yeah, I'm back on break.
This practice test has traveled further and higher than
yeah. Okay, as promised, we're going to watch the Barney Bungee. And